Alrighty, folks, we are going to introduce another Skool mastermind. This one is the Unicorn Agent Mastermind. Now, I, of course, have lots of questions to this. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go to one of the co-hosts, the co-leaders of the group, Mr. Hunter Gore. How you doing, Hunter?
Michael, I'm great. Hey, thanks so much for having me on to talk about this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's first give a shout out to your co-host. Who's the co-host of this amazing group?
Yeah, so both Mike Malshard and myself, Mike's also a Skool community member. So both of us are co-leading this, and it's been great to have some help. Sometimes if you're having to lead something by yourself and, cast the whole vision, put all the work in it, it can, cause for a little bit of burnout. So nice to have some help.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I just an hour ago interviewed the leaders of the Ladies of Orat, Jen and Amelia. So I think it's a wise move to have a co-host. Life gets in the way. Hey, can you do this week? Can I do that week? I think it's a wonderful idea. But you actually reached out to me. I want to say it was 2 months ago, maybe 10 weeks ago, and you kind of broached this idea, which A, thank you, and B, it was the first time we ever had a Skool community group aimed at a subsection of investing, right? Up until that point, we'd had just general accountability groups. So thank you for reaching out. Thank you for pushing me and thank you for taking that initial leadership position. It was well done.
Well, I appreciate it. I always like to come in and fill a need or gap where I see it. And being an agent myself, I'm here in the Greenville, South Carolina MSA. So I don't really think we have too many Skool members who are in this part of the country. We do have some that invest over here. But I'm like, hey, it's a great opportunity to connect, network, and mastermind with other, like-minded professionals.
Yeah, I think being in this community, being around other investors as an agent is obviously a huge plus. But I also think getting more and more agents in here, Ty, one of my weekly guests, calls it the hybrid agent. And I think it's a wise idea to kind of look and understand, become an investor as yourself. But also, you've probably heard me talk about, I think the next, year or so is going to be tough. But after that, I think it gets really good. So it's the folks that make the investments now, that skill up now, that build a network now, that are just going to go crazy at the buffet, which is, 2026, 2027. So I think it's a wise move to join a group like this.
Yeah, I think it is too. One of my overall philosophies on life is rising tide raises all ships. So if you're around other people who are, connecting with clients, trying to build your business on the agent side, positioning yourself to be a market leader, both, and how the market's moving, how it's performed, and how you can get in and get your unfair share, so to speak, is crucial.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well, let's go to the name, right? I think I might be wrong, but the first time I heard Unicorn Agent, I think it was from Pace Morby. I could be wrong. But what is a unicorn agent in your words?
Yeah, so I first heard the term from Pace's group as well. I'm a part of the Subject to Creative Finance community on Facebook. I'm not a Subject to student, but I'm just in his free, Facebook group, whatever.
Nice.
And that's where I first heard the term.
Okay.
To me, a unicorn agent is somebody who is an agent first and foremost, but also an investor in helping investor clients. Doesn't mean your business has to be 100% focused on investors, but you just know how that world functions, how it operates, and you can help facilitate deals both for yourself and for clients.
I think that's, when I heard Pace talk about the unicorn agent, it really, first off, it's a wonderful name, right? Or flag or category, whatever, because again, when you talk to investors, especially investors who are going out of state or out of area, we kind of run into just the standard agents, right? The kind of open houses, they know how to make listings. They don't think investor, they don't speak investor. They get irritated at our multiple offers. They don't maybe respond as fast as sometimes investors need. So what do you think really anchors, a unicorn agent? What is their kind of superpower?
Yeah, to me, that superpower is being able to help facilitate deals and transactions, for clients, for yourself, and fundamentally knowing, what that looks like in all different facets. I'm just going to throw out a couple of things that I've been a part of recently on transactions, subject to deal, seller financing. Those were more on the buyer side. But as an agent in my market, I'm able to look on the MLS. I can talk direct to other agents and brokers and say, hey, I know a little bit about this property, but I would like to facilitate a deal and, make sure that you as the listing agent are getting your fee out of it. But hey, let's put it together and make it a win for your clients.
Yeah.
And so knowing that lingo, so to speak, knowing how to facilitate that deal, to me, that's really the best skill set. Because at the end of the day, this is still very much a transactions-based business. If you only do, one transaction a year, that's going to be a lot different than someone who closes 100 deals. And so having more tools in that tool belt, to me, that's really where it's at.
Yeah, the unicorn agent, again, it can be a vocabulary game. It's the ability to take down transactions in lots of different ways. It doesn't have to always be cash or a conventional loan. It could be sub two. It could be land, a deed. I mean, there's land contract. There's lots of ways a unicorn agent could facilitate things. And when I think about unicorn agents working with investors, it really, my words are, like, what's your buy box, right? Like you're in Greenville, and let's just say there was some California investor that wanted to buy in Greenville. If I was you, I would be trying to get that investor to nail down what their buy box is, because, if the investor calls you or does a Zoom call with you in person, and it's like, I just want a great deal. What can you do with that? You can't do anything with a great deal. What are you looking for? What's the return? How do you measure a great deal? To me, a unicorn agent helps the investor be better as well.
They do, absolutely. And they can take that buy box criteria and they can pare it down to, being that first line of defense, or, the first person who's actively looking for deals. On MLS, off market. I'm really a big off market person myself, both for clients and for my own portfolio. And so if someone says, hey, I know this is the type of asset that I want, this is the return I'm looking for, the location, I can take all that information, that buy box, and really, use it to go hunting for deals. I can, be looking actively on off market stuff. I can help try to make offers on things that are off market, knowing that it's going to fit that investor's buy box.
Very, very cool. Well, I think I just jumped into this fun conversation. When is the mastermind? It's in Skool. It's on the calendar. What day and time of the week is it?
Yeah, so we have this every single Tuesday morning, Eastern time, 11 o'clock Eastern, so 8 a.m. Pacific. But we encourage, everybody who is either an agent, somebody looking to get their license, maybe even somebody who's ancillary to a transaction, somebody who's in maybe home services, inspector, an appraiser, mortgage broker, all those type of people. We really encourage those to join, because the more that we can grow this mastermind, again, back to my analogy, rising tide raises all ships. We can grow our business together and grow our wealth together.
Yeah. What I know you've been running these for several weeks now. What have been, just give a taste of some of the content, some of the topics that have been discussed, to really highlight what other agents, brokers, people involved in the business should join and be a part of these Tuesday sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of big things that stood out to me. One, we talked about a novation agreement. So if an investor has a novation agreement, type of creative finance transaction, as a agent or broker, you can help facilitate that in an on-market transaction. So we talked about that a couple weeks back, talked about due diligence timeframes, ways to get really creative with earnest money, ways to do creative transactions. Again, subject to seller financing, land contract, different things to help put tools on your tool belt to do deals.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. Also, just so you know, obviously a lot of my millionaire contacts are agents. If you ever wanted to do a session, I'm sure Ty or Omar or Adrian or Jason, all of these licensed professionals wouldn't mind being a guest on one of those weekly calls. So let me know if that's something you want to make happen. I could do that. I just love the idea of having a community of licensed or, kind of in the business, because I think that's going to help you, but also will help my community, right? I envision this community becoming big enough where there's kind of like lead flow for everybody. So I think it is that whole tide raising all ships.
Exactly. And, agents are notorious for being good at selling houses, but not good at investing. So my heart for agents is sort of on the other side to say, hey, you might be great at selling houses, but I want to help you, understand the whole investment side of it, whether
Yeah.
that's you buying your first property or, buying your 10th.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty has a real passion for that as well. He calls it the hybrid agent. I don't know
Mhm.
if that term takes off, but it is that kind of both, outwardly facing, but also taking care of building wealth for yourself. So as we kind of wrap this up, why don't you tell me more about Hunter? Who is Hunter? What's the portfolio? How long you been in the business? All of that.
Yeah, so I've been in the business coming up actually end of the year on 6 years in the business as an agent. Been investing about 3.5, closer to 4 years. Bought my first property as a live-in house hack duplex
Nice.
purchase. Since scaled that, I think we're at 11 properties now, and I got a couple with a partner. So
Nice.
continuing to build and scale, trying to put all the tools in the tool belt. I recently helped a client do some smaller scale build to rent that I'm now actually able to execute that same strategy for myself. So going to be working on my
Mm,
first build to rent here in a couple months. So it's great, learning stuff from this community, bringing other people in here. So it's
yeah.
been
Build to
really
rent. Build to rent is going to be, I think, a shockingly good strategy. Like infill lots and things of that nature. It's Brandon, right? Brandon's doing that
correct.
in
Correct.
Texas. Yeah, I've had him on the show. He's a genius for what he's doing. I love that he's in the community and sharing. I really do think build for rent is going to become a very profitable model, especially if more and more communities allow a single family lot to become a duplex or triplex based on configuration. I think build for rent's going to take off. So I think it's a good strategy to add to the tool belt.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited to see how my first one turns out. I'll share some numbers, at least what I'm projecting.
Mhm.
Looking at a lot that I'll buy for 30,000 in my market,
Okay.
and I'll spend about 175 on a build. It's about
Okay.
$112 a square foot. That's including my builder cost.
Okay.
So my builder is going to be GC in the whole project. So I'll get in for about 205 before carrying cost, maybe
Mhm.
225, and I'm hoping to do a 75% DSCR cash out refi, and it appraised at somewhere between 300 and 325. So hopefully zero money out of my pocket, and I just built a rental, have some
Yeah.
cash flow as well.
There you go. There you go. So, what's the timeline? Are we thinking, from purchase of lot to the DSCR loan, 9 months? What are we thinking?
It'll probably be 6 months. So
Okay.
I can get the whole thing built in about 3 months. And talking with my lender, as long as I've been on title with the lot for at least 6 months, then I'm good to do the refi.
Okay. Okay. So there's some time restrictions on the lot. And again, you buy the lot. Are you going to use a construction loan so the lot becomes the collateral for the construction loan?
Yeah, that's correct. So looking
Okay.
at two options, one is a private lender, the other is a more community style bank local to
Yeah.
me. So both are going to be good options. We'll just see
Nice.
which one is a
Nice.
better one.
Well, again, I'll be looking to follow up in the school community. So that's pretty cool. If somebody wanted to reach out to you, because again, you are an agent in Greenville, should they just hit you up in School, or do you have a social media place we can point people at?
Yeah, Skool's great. Also, I'm pretty active on X or Twitter. My handle is at the Hunter Gore. Feel free to follow me, send me a message. Would love to connect and help if you're
Awesome.
looking to buy or invest here in Greenville.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to thank you and Mike for running this community. I think, again, having code leads is awesome. Are you going to be able to make it out to Vegas for the event?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I already had a prior commitment before I even joined Skool and started listening and following you. But I will be at the one next year, 26. So
There
got
you
it on
go.
my calendar, blocked off
Nice.
already.
Yeah, it's really convenient. It's that weekend every weekend. President's Day
Yep.
weekend just allows people to travel home on Monday. Well, Hunter, I appreciate you. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for running this community. And again, if you need any help from me or my other millionaires, let me help you be successful.
Thanks so much, Michael. Appreciate it.
Awesome, buddy. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks.